All right, we are live.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hopefully everyone is doing well. Welcome back, Orlando. We really missed you yesterday.
Yes, I know, but I had a few things that I was occupied with personal stuff, but thank you for covering me in any case.
No worries, no worries. We had a pretty good show anyway. And I'm going to just give you the opportunity to go ahead and let us know what you're looking at for today.
All right, all right. So let me share my screen in on just a second. Can you give me powers, please?
Oh, I always forget to do that, don't I? Let me
Hello,
see if I
Louis.
can
How
do
are
that.
you?
There we
Yeah, some pretty
go.
exciting. Yeah, thank you. Some pretty exciting stuff that I'm watching for today. Actually, um, I'm going to start with the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar because, well, I have been waiting for this for quite some time, months actually. So I'm going to start going to go to the higher time frames. Just to tell you what I was waiting for. I was waiting for, I think I talked about this on Sunday's TTR. Uh, but I was waiting for the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar to hit these levels, right? And I remember that when I first saw this possible setup was back in July, when yes, when the price was trading at these levels back in July, mid-July, and this short right here didn't quite. I actually took it a couple of times, tried to short it, but it didn't quite got to my level, as you can see here, right? But now price has hit that big level that I was waiting for, and it is a big level, as you can see. Uh, the both times that we have hit that level, we've had some very bearish moves to the downside. Well, of course, to the downside, bearish moves, right? And but yeah, so I'm looking at that level being hit right now, and with the US dollar rallying, I'm looking at a short opportunity here, right? Where's the US dollar? Here. So the DXY broke with that level of support that we were looking at last week, right? But quickly is rising. So the next, again, I'm looking at a positive US dollar for today's session. And I will be looking at again at these highs right here for a possible bounce right to the downside. But in any case, this is the New Zealand dollar, US dollar is the setup that I'm looking at right now. And if we actually look at the volume profile, you're going to see that it is we're trading at a massive historic volume zone. Well, the POC is actually right here at the bottom, but you can see right here that it is a big historic volume zone that we are trading in, and we are above that massive volume area that that had us trading inside of this range between the 67 and 65 area. But if we go back to the let's go back to the hourly chart. Um, Basically, that is what I'm looking for. There's no trade for me just yet, but I think that the opportunity to short this currency pair is has a high probability, more so with the US dollar rallying. And I mean, if it pans out, it might yield some good pips to the downside. Now, the other thing that I'm watching again is silver. I know that I must you must be tired of me talking about silver, but I mean we had that.
Never tired about talking about things that make money, Orlando.
That is a good thing. Yeah, that's right. We had that big breakout to the upside, right? And actually we broke above these highs, which was a good thing, right? Because this was my profit taking area, for half of my position, half of the position that I had from these lows, right? And now we are, I mean, we got that pull back to the previous highs, which is, I mean, which is normal. I mean, markets do not always just go up or just go down. They always give us opportunities to scale in and out of our trades.
Oh, looks like we have just lost Orlando. Let's see if he can make it back in. Hopefully he will be able to. But in the meantime, let me grab the screen and take you through a few things that I'm looking at instead. Hopefully Orlando will make it back in. So the first thing I wanted to look at actually is gold, which makes sense because Orlando was just talking about silver. So what I'm looking at on gold, I can't really remember where we got up to with our last discussion on this, but basically I was talking about the fact that we have this kind of symmetrical triangle pattern. It's not a very clean triangle pattern, but we've got these lower highs and higher lows. This is the daily time frame I'm looking at here. Price has broken out of that consolidation pattern. So really what I'm waiting for is a long position now that price has broken long out of that pattern. The time frame that I'm specifically looking at is the 4-hourly time frame. We can see the pattern much more clearly on this 4-hourly time frame. The fact that we've still got higher lows and price has broken out. All I'm looking for is a long opportunity. Now you can see I've got an order in the market here. It's a buy stop order based on this bullish engulfing candle. Now, price is going down currently, so it doesn't look like the momentum is with me at the moment on this trade. But what this means is that the momentum has to change in order to trigger me into the trade. So price has to come up, and it has to come up significantly if it's going to enter me into the trade. It's got to smash through the high of the engulfing bar to get me into the trade, and that would then mean that I'm entering into the trade with the momentum of the market, which at that point would be bullish. The thing that I would say is that if price continues downwards, then not only will I cancel my order here, because if price comes down below the low of the bullish engulfing bar, it invalidates that bullish engulfing bar. So I would definitely just cancel my order there. But I still have an area that I can look out for, because I can still look for a test around about where this upward sloping trend line is. That would still be a reasonable place to look out for a trade on the 4-hourly time frame. And all it means is it's a bigger retracement. It could give me a bigger reward to risk until my next potential level of resistance, which would be at that round number of 2000 there. So if this particular trade doesn't get entered into, I really don't mind at all. It's not the end of the world. I would just be looking for another entry opportunity if I get another bullish candle around about this area. So that's what I'm looking at on gold at the moment. I notice we have Orlando back. Orlando, we lost you
Yes,
for a minute there, but you're
I'm
back.
back. Yeah, I forgot to plug in my computer, so my
Oh, I
laptop's.
see.
Yeah, so I lost powers.
Happens to the best of us.
Yes, exactly. But I'm back.
You're
So yeah,
back. So why don't you just grab the screen and carry on where you left off?
yeah, sure. I do like. Can you give me again powers, please? I
Oh,
lost
yeah,
them
of
because.
course. I always
Uh-huh.
forget that.
I like
There we go.
I mean the levels that you were explaining here in gold, pretty much similar to what I'm looking at on silver. Let's go
Yeah,
again.
similar.
Yes, exactly. Very, very similar. Because I mean, if you take what you were looking at, it's basically the same move to a previous level, right? And we do have that same structure to the upside, still making higher highs and higher lows, and even if we break with to the downside with which is the what? Let me see, the 26, 27.49, 27.50 level. We might still get a minor, a bigger pullback to this previous high, which is another key level that I'm watching. Again, I don't think that we're going to get that. I mean, because of how strong this level is, if we break to the downside, we might just get a test to the 26.20 again, which I don't think might happen, because I just saw something on the DXY that I had another chart on the DXY um, that I wasn't looking at, and it's that at 92.80 level, which is a big level. Just look at what happened here on Jackson Hole Day, right? Uh, we might get some sellers jumping into the market right here at the 92.80, if we manage to get there on the U.S. session. Now, I haven't looked at the economic calendar. Have you, Chloe, for today? Which is something that I normally don't do.
I did have a brief look this morning, yeah.
There's nothing much going on today, right? Well, we have
Not a lot, no.
we have the AD non-farm employment change
Yes.
in yes, in about 15 minutes, just right, just at the time that our show ends. So you're not going to be able to go through that with us, Tim, but that's fine. And the forecast is 1,250,000 jobs from, and the previous number was 1,670,000 jobs. But you know, the ADP non-farm employment change means nothing. It's not a market mover, even though it's marked in red in the Forex Factory calendar. I don't trust that. But again, with those numbers, I do believe that we might get some some pushes to the downside, which will finally give metals a um, a bullish push for a continuation. And also, if we grab some Fibonacci retracement levels from the lows to the highs, let's see. I haven't done that in a while, actually. Um, we are at around the 50, right? The 50%, exactly at the 50% retracement, right here. Let's see. Boom. At the 50% retracement at this level at the 27 50. Okay. I'm not saying that the 50% retracement is going to hold, but it is a confluence that I do like, with how it is trade, with how price is trading at the moment. So if we go back, let's go to a 15-minute chart to see just how price is reacting to this level. And this is why I always like to have confirmation, right? Just have a look at this candle on the 15-minute time frame. Most traders will go, wow, that's a big rejection of that level on the 15-minute. So I don't want to miss the move. So I'm going to go long here. But we do need some levels to break in order, or I personally need some levels to break in order to, that was an awful line, right? In order to belong here. So I would love that, the 28 level. I would trade long above the 28 level here on silver, actually. Even though we do have that previous highs right here, but to me, these previous highs are no longer that valid. I will be looking at this level as a previous high. Why? Because we already broke with it, both to the upside and the downside. So that level is no longer holding. See, you can see it right here. This level to me is no longer holding as a support or resistance, right? The current structure is respecting this level and will most definitely be respecting this level once and if we get there, right? So there's a good opportunity still above these highs to first targets in my eyes, better than a one-to-one risk to reward scenario, which is absolutely fine because if I'm looking to scale in into this market, it will be for the long term, right? I'm not looking to make a few pips here. Of course, that I will be taking some off at at the next key levels, But yes, I do believe that we might get an opportunity here to scale in, just as you were looking at gold, or you were saying about gold, Chloe.
Yeah, it's really, really similar. And even when you went down to the 15-minute time frame, Orlando,
Yeah,
uh, and you were just pointing out that you need those levels to break before you enter in. And this is it. It's about being patient. It's not about panicking about missing things. It's about being patient and waiting for confirmation, waiting for the right area to get in. And the
uh-huh.
gold chart looks really, really similar to that. I don't have a downward sloping trend line on the 15-minute on my gold chart. I have a horizontal level, and it's pretty much that
This one right here, right? No, this is the 3 hour chart. I'm sorry. So this one,
it's yeah, basically
1970.
the just a little bit below, basically where you've got the previous high there. So yeah, pretty much where your mouse, what exactly? Yeah.
Here.
No, for just where you put it further down there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that is an area where we can see that gold has been ranging within. And we don't want to just jump in because we think, oh, I don't want to miss the move. We want confirmation
yeah,
that price isn't going to continue ranging, because if it continues ranging in that area, it's no good to us. Whereas if it breaks
exactly.
out from that area, then it is good to us. We can potentially make a profit from that. So it's really, really similar, Orlando, to your price action on silver. It's a there isn't a clear downwards trend line that I've drawn, but it definitely still is that very similar area. I would hazard a guess that if silver breaks your area in order to
Yeah,
get you into your trade, then I would hazard a guess that my gold trade would
yes,
trigger at pretty much a similar time.
definitely,
So
definitely.
um
And as you
so
were saying,
yes,
Chloe, it's not about being the first because I mean, in what we do, actually, it's very different than everything else. What we do here, people that trying to get to be the first in on that trade get burned. It's the patient ones that make the money here.
definitely. Definitely is the case, and we speak from experience. I certainly do.
Yeah, me too.
um, so yeah, good stuff. Are you looking at anything else, Orlando, other than
Let
silver?
me see. I do believe that I might be. Let's have a look. Um, yes, I was looking at the Dow. Where is it? Here it is. So I was looking at the Dow. It took that long. Let me just get rid of this. Uh, okay, I took this long. Um, um, okay, so I took this long to this previous high, and I'm looking at the Dow here. A little bit tired, but let me just get rid of this. You know, at these levels, right? Let's go to higher time frames because I want to show you something. So we are at this particular level. This is the daily chart, right? Okay. We are at, what is this? Let me get rid of this. Okay, we are at this particular level right now. Okay, no, we are not quite there, but this is the level that I'm looking at on the daily. As you can see, pretty pivotal level on the Dow, right? We aren't quite there just yet, but if we go back to the hourly, uh, I will be, and let me just again put this on my chart, and let me get rid of these fibs. Okay, there you go. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a fail. Well, there are two scenarios that I'm looking at. I'm looking at a fail, a fake out above these highs for a retest of the lows, so we can pick more buyers to continue the this rally, which has been a massive rally on the Dow, of course, all equities, or a continuation here and a short at the levels. Both scenarios are short for me, and I know it's counterintuitive on how on how equities have been trading, but this is a short-term idea, right? I'm not looking to hold on to a short in equities, but given the fact that we are close to that 29, and of course, if because this is the CFDs on the Dow from currency.com, your levels might be different uh, because there are CFDs. But just look at that daily level, and you will get it right on your charts. But because we are so close to this level, I do believe that we might get a big move to the downside before a continuation, and this is what I'm looking at on to profit from, right? But I mean, there's absolutely no trade at the moment, but this zone is of interest to me, and yeah, that's about it. I'm not looking at any much because I mean, other markets that I was watching, for example, the euro versus the Swiss franc, the move is gone. I was looking at a long at the euro kiwi long at these levels, and didn't that didn't happen. So I will be looking for that, and that of course is because of the euro weakness, due to the U.S. dollar strength that we're seeing at the moment, and to me everything else is quite choppy. Uh, let's see, the U.S. dollar Singapore dollar short. I was taking out a break even around these levels, but that continued quite nicely to the downside. Uh, yeah, but Chloe, this is absolutely what I'm looking at because I don't see anything of interest or anything juicy at the moment.
Good stuff, Orlando. Okay, I'm going to grab the screen from you just for a
Yeah.
minute and just point out another couple of things that I'm looking out for. And they're not really things that we need to panic about getting into right now. It's mostly the 4-hour time frame that I'm interested in, to be honest with you. I got into
Uh-huh.
another trade on Aussie dollar last week, which is going pretty nicely. I've moved my stops up on my previous position. So you can see here on this chart where my stops
Yeah.
are for the previous positions. Got into a new trade as well, which I have actually taken some profit on because I'm trading slightly differently pretty much throughout all of the market price action that we've seen since the coronavirus crisis started. I've been trading a lot more conservatively than I would usually. So I am taking profits where there are profits to be taken, which includes on this Aussie dollar. But I am still in 3 positions there and I'm happy to hold them. What I'm looking for is I'm looking on the 4-hourly for perhaps a bounce in this area. We've got monthly pivot, weekly pivot. So that's something that I'm still looking out for. And in addition to that, there's also Aussie yen and Aussie Swiss that I'm still ideally looking for long opportunities on now. Yes, they are looking bearish at the moment. They are going to be retracing, but I'm just keeping my eyes out because, last week people may have been considering me crazy to look for long opportunities where we saw all of this sluggishness. But the fact
Yeah.
of the matter was, there were still higher highs and there were still higher lows, and that's all I need in order to take trades with the trend. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So of course these trends will come to an end at some point, but until they do, I am still. I suppose one other thing that I want to point out is Euro Aussie, because this one, bearish the euro, bullish the Aussie. So this cross pair is something that I am keeping a pretty close eye
Whoa,
on.
that's a big
Um,
level.
it is a big level. Yeah, it is a big level. And what surprises me about this big level is that last time we reached it, we had this price action here. So that level, we got that big low test bar followed by a massive buyer bar. The buyers just steamed into this market, took price up, and in fact took price even further up for the next pretty much month almost of very choppy but fairly buyer dominated price action. we've had a big strong move to the downside. Now, if price was going to react strongly here, I would have expected it to have reacted by now. Let me see if I can. So again, over here, last time price got down to this level was here, and we saw a big bullish engulfing bar, followed by a little bit of indecision, followed by another very bullish bar. So price has tended in the past to react quite strongly. Even over here, we were faced with a lot of indecision, followed by a move up. Here, low test bar, followed by a strong move up. I'm not seeing that right now. What I'm seeing is I am seeing bearish price action leading down to this level. And then this bar, yes, it's green, but the upper tail, the upper wick of that candle is longer. So it is actually a bearish candle. This one is definitely a bearish candle, high test bar there. So I'm not seeing the rush of buyers come into the market that I would expect to happen at this level if this level was going to hold. So yes, it is a really strong level, but I'm just waiting, because if that breaks to the downside, there could be a pretty good move. Now, it doesn't look like much on a daily time frame, but the next level, let me just show you where that next level comes into play. That is the next very strong level that I have. See these touches over here? It's a strong level of support down here. So if price can break through this level, that's where I'm headed. That's where I'm planning to head. And that means that if we take a look on the lower time frames again, for example, the 4 hourly, right now, it's not looking like much because I've got this support. In fact, I'll look at the hourly. It shows it a little bit more clearly. I've got this level of support just here that price is really struggling to get through. But if it gets through there, then the next area to look out for is all the way down here. So there could be a pretty strong reward to risk trade if we're just patient. I definitely don't want to get in right now because I definitely don't want to get caught up in any kind of range in this situation we're in now. But my ideal situation would be if price can come down here, break through this level, give me a retest, and then I'll be looking to trade all the way down. That would be my ideal situation. I am also considering looking out for lower time frame trades, perhaps around this area where the daily pivot is, but then I'd be trading into support, so I would have to reduce the risk right down. It wouldn't be a serious position for me. Whereas if price can break through this area here, come back up to retest, and then I get my entry at this level, that's interesting to me. So that's just something that I'm looking out for. It might be that price just continues to range on this one, or it might retrace further. Who knows? But I'm looking out because if price does manage to get through this horizontal level, I'm definitely interested, based on the fact that that next level beneath us is actually quite some way down here. So that is the pretty much the extent of what I was planning to go through. Let's just have a last look at gold as well. I just want to make sure, because I am planning to cancel this trade, and in fact my entry is now invalidated. So I'm just going to delete this trade. I'm going to be waiting to see if price can get down to this weekly pivot. If that's the case, then I'll be looking for a new trade. The alternative is looking on the lower time frames if price does manage to make it back up. But I have to be strict with my rules, even though I do believe there is still the potential for price to go up from here. I've broken the bottom of my candle. I have to delete this trade. So I'm just going to click delete, and it's gone. I'm still interested in this area though, Orlando, like we were discussing. on the 15-minute time frame. This area around here, I'm still interested in that. If we get above there on a lower time frame, I definitely want to look for long opportunities, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens there.
We will. And it looks like buyers are jumping in right now.
They are, yeah, they
Yeah.
are. It is. It's a shame. They just went down and took out my level, which means I have to remove that order. But this current bar here could still give me another entry opportunity. So all is
Yes,
not lost.
definitely.
We got to wait and see what happens with it. With that said, Orlando, I do believe we have been joined by
Jeff.
He just snuck in the background there.
We can see you skulking in the background.
How you doing, guys?
I'm doing just fine. But you remember on Monday you snuck in, and right when I was about to end the show, you just said something and you scared me because I didn't because I didn't realize that you were in the room.
I'm a bit sneaky sometimes. You just never know what's going on.
Yeah.
How's the day been?
Pretty nice. Pretty nice. How about you, mate?
Mate, I've just woken up. Well, no, I haven't woken up. I've just got in front of the charts not that long ago. As you know, yesterday's my day off, and haven't really done too much trading. And I see there's been both good and bad in that. But I do have one for you. I'm going to share one with you if you like.
Yes, of course.
Please do.
Okie doke. Have you got a pound yen chart there, Chloe, or do you want me to pinch the screen?
I can put you a pound yen chart if you would like.
I like where this is going.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
What time frame do you want, Jeff?
30-minute, I think.
30-minute. There it is.
That's the one. Okay, so we're trading a breakout here to the high side. So I've got an entry at where's my entry? Hang on a sec. It's just above those intraday highs at 141.98. And I've got my stop loss at 141.70. I'm going to take
about there.
Yep, that's pretty much the trade. So I'm trading a breakout to the high side. So it's a buy order at that level. And I'm going to take a bit of caution here. There is a weekly resistance level just above that entry. And of course, we're trading into a round number as well. But I'm not going to take any profit at TP1. I'm going to move my stops to entry instantly at 142.06. So I won't take any profit there, but I'll just move my stop to entry. And then I will take profit at, what's my level? I'll take TP1 at 142.22.
142.22. Around about there.
Yep. And we'll take half off at that point and let the rest rip till we get to the...
That looks good to me.
Till we get to the highs at 147.95.
Which is miles away.
Miles away. But I do like what I'm hearing.
All the way up there.
I'm on the same trade.
On this, really? Can it carry both of us, mate? Do you think?
Yeah.
Bit of weight between you and me. I've got another one.
You've got another one?
Yeah, it's going to depend on the number that probably is due out now. Actually, it should be out now, the ADP number.
Yes, it's. I'll tell you what that number is. Just give me a second. Is yeah, it's, wow, 428,000 jobs. So that's a very bad. With a previous of 200 and previous was 212,000 jobs and a forecast of 1,250,000 jobs. So
okay.
Yeah,
it is the ADP number and not the official number. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't put that much emphasis on it, but I'm weaning myself back into the US dollar at the moment. So I'm thinking that I've got a position that I can take here, and it'll depend. What time is it now? Oh, we've got 30 minutes to go. Goodness me. I was going to place a limit entry order on dollar CAD.
Dollar CAD.
We might still do that. We might still do that. And the entry level is going to be at 130.47.
130.47-ish.
Yep, which is being on the daily pivot of the day, and also on the left shoulder. That is potentially going to become a left shoulder on the 4-hour chart, I think it is.
Let's
Hang on a
have a
sec.
look at the 4-hour.
Hang on a sec. I'll give you an accurate version of that. No, make that the 1-hour chart, Chloe.
1-hour chart. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yes, it looks very nice.
Okay, so yeah, that's your level. So that's where we want to get in, and we're buying. And I don't think I've decided. Our stop loss is at 1.2990.
1.2990.
Yep. And TP1. Have I decided where TP1 is yet? Yeah, probably DR1, which is at, yeah, that's the level. You want to be out of TP1 at 130.95.
130.95, around about there.
Yep. And at that point, just take half off and let the rest rip. That could be a reversal. And we want to take full advantage of that if it is. May not be. And I can't trust the dollar that well, of course. I don't trust it at all. But yeah, get safe on that at TP1, I think is the way I'll go with that. There is an option. And if at the top of the hour, we've got a candle that is pretty much as we see at the moment, then you could move your entry to the top of the current hourly bar and enter there. But you've got to wait on that. It's got to be a bearish decisive bar to be able to take that order.
Yeah, so you've got to wait for that candle to close.
Yep. So if it is bearish and decisive, entry above the candle, stop loss below the daily pivot.
Good stuff. Awesome stuff,
Excellent.
Jeff.
There you go.
And you,
entertainment.
a lot of entertainment for us. I had to cancel my order on gold, but it might set up again later on. We'd better leave it there because you have your show coming up with Ash at the bottom of the hour.
We do. I better limber up for that.
So you need to limber up. Yep. Thank you so much for coming in, Jeff. Always a pleasure and very exciting to have not one but 2 trades to enter into. So good stuff.
Let's hope they greet the judge, Chloe. Yeah.
And dollar CAD there, and I'm sure you'll go over those again in your show as well.
Well, it depends if they're winners or not. No, I'll just leave them. Yes, I will, of course, go over them very, very shortly.
So, Jeff, thank you again, and we will speak to you soon.
Guys. Okay,
cheers,
see you tomorrow.
Everyone. Yes,
right, see you tomorrow,
indeed.
Jeff.
We'll catch you tomorrow, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Get ready for Jeff Nash's show in 6 minutes' time, and we will speak to you all again tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, Chloe. Talk to you tomorrow.